Hey, what is up YouTube? Welcome back. Today we're going to have episode 2 of Hockey Talks, and we are going to be talking about the couple of trades that the Nashville Predators have made last week. It is a little late, but I had stuff that was trying to film this episode while, kind of right after they made a trade, since they made a trade with the Rangers, and also basically two teams who aren't going to make the playoffs in the Metropolitan Division. So they weren't the biggest trades, but they, have some significance to them. So we'll start off with the Ranger trade. The New York Rangers trade left wing Cody McLeod to the Nashville Predators for a 2020 7th round draft pick. So, winner of this trade, I gotta just say the Rangers, just because of what they're not a playoff team. They got Cody McLeod off waivers basically for free from Nashville, and now they trade him back to Nashville, and they get an extra draft pick. Maybe they gives them a chance of drafting the next Henrik Lundqvist in the 7th round of the 2020 draft. You never know. So really, that's what the Rangers are getting, just an extra draft pick. Not the best pick, of course, but you could get maybe a 7th round, boomer or something like that. And what is Nashville getting? Obviously, Cody McLeod is strictly a fighter and or just an enforcer. Finishes every check, and stands up for his teammates, whatnot. We've seen that with him in the Rangers and him in the playoffs. And when NHL playoffs come, every player is finishing their check. And if Cody McLeod is finishing, because he didn't really play every game. If he was finishing every check during the regular season, he's definitely going to finish every check during the playoffs and probably help maybe throw off some of the young guys. Like if they play against the Avalanche, maybe get McKinnon, Rantanen off their game with him running around. So I guess that's what you're getting for the Predators. Obviously, McLeod is 32, maybe 33, and he's not really... It's not like you trade Matt Bolesky, who could probably put something on the score sheet, because Cody McLeod just isn't the best, just isn't really, he's an offensive liability almost. He really isn't, really doesn't do anything. He'll get a few shots, but doesn't really put much in. He had 1 goal this year. I think he had maybe 2 assists. Last year, he probably played, like 50, 60 games in total with the Rangers, so not that impressive. This is going to be a pretty, probably a short episode, just because these trades aren't, oh my god, check. These trades aren't the biggest, and it's just wanted to get this out since the Rangers made a trade, because I wanted to talk about this trade with another trade, because I didn't want to just make a video off the Cody McLeod trade. So we'll talk about the other trade that Nashville made with the team we are playing against right now, the New Jersey Devils, and that is the New Jersey Devils trade center Brian Boyle, former Ranger, to Nashville for a 2019 2nd round pick. That's a pick in this year's draft. So with Brian Boyle, you're getting basically you're getting a great third, fourth line center for the playoffs. Big guy, 6'7", 6'6". He'll finish his check and also put some points on the board. So kind of like a bigger, better Cody McLeod. Winner in this trade, since the Devils are kind of like us, they're not as good. They're not good, really. If they were in the Western Conference, they'd probably be making the playoffs, because that whole Western Conference is like a shit show. That wild card race is crazy. Everyone's like 55 points, and the Rangers have like 54. So the Rangers could be possibly making the playoffs in the Western Conference. So with the Devils getting a 2nd round pick, I don't know what Brian Boyle's contract's like. Maybe I'll look it up. But if it doesn't even matter if Boyle's going to be a free agent, you're getting a 2nd round pick for a 34-year-old. Boyle's 34. A 34-year-old's like kind of like a two-way center, but it's not really like. It's not like they traded maybe Johansson for a, if they traded Johansson for a 2nd round pick, then maybe, but Johansson's a wing, so, but still, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not like you're trading a player like that. You're trading a kind of a player like maybe, I'm trying to think of someone, maybe like I can't really think of anyone, but you know what I mean? Like a 34-year-old centerman for a second-round pick. I think that is a win for the Devils in the situation they're in. Definitely not a bad pickup for the Predators, but I would have tried. I would have tried to maybe give up maybe a third or a fourth, maybe, because a second is a little. I think that's a little much, but it kind of gets my hopes up for possibly getting a first-round pick for Zuccarello, and maybe a second for McQuaid. But I don't know if we're gonna get a second for McQuaid. Hopefully a third, but. A little short episode of talking about it. Obviously, this adds a lot of grit in the Predators team. Obviously, they had Zach Ronaldo, but now they had a big third, fourth line center, penalty killing center, and Brian Boyle could also put up some goals if you need, which definitely would be very helpful in the playoffs with teams like, Winnipeg and Vegas, who's on a tear lately, going to be probably their opponents maybe in the second or third round. Obviously, Boyle and McLeod, not much offense, but definitely will finish every check and hopefully get maybe, say, a Dustin Byfuglien away from your guys. And, of course, Brian Boyle, another big guy who has some success with the Rangers in the playoffs. I think he played I think he maybe had a goal or two last year against Tampa. But I remember at Game 3 it was, he was like fighting Sergachev, and Sergachev was heated. That was fun to watch. Kind of reminded me of the old Brian Boyle, even though I don't like the Devils, but it was fun to watch Boyle kind of get in the head of a young guy like that. So I think, obviously, it definitely adds. They're definitely going to be a tougher team. Kind of like reminds me of the Rangers. Like when they acquired Stephane Matteau and their cup run when they traded, they traded a young piece for like two tough guys, but trading a couple picks for two tough guys kind of adds it up. But so just because, I think I got to say the winners in both these, winner in the McLeod trade has to be the Rangers, and the winner in the Boyle trade has to be the Devils, just because of, of course, I think they overpaid a little bit for Boyle. And, of course, the Rangers got Boyle and McLeod for free, and you get a 7th-round pick for him. Maybe it gives you a chance of drafting another Ty Ronning or Henrik Lundqvist. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Next, whenever another big trade goes down, I think Dale Weiss just got traded, but, that's not really too important. We will be making another video, or I'll be definitely making another video on it. And, not the best gameplay for me. I'm really not doing much. Obviously, I kind of try to focus on the talking a little more. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and hopefully maybe this week or next week, the Rangers will be making a Zuccarello, McQuaid, or Hayes trade. We'll finish off this period. Maybe we get try to get something here. 9-8. Looks like that's it. Unless we get the puck here. We'll get on that. I switched the players over, McLeod and Boyle, but they wouldn't let me play as them in threes for some reason. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the